In this video, I am going to show you some of my Baer story characters that I have in dreams. So let's get started. Here we have Barry the Bear, or as I like to call him, Mr. Bear. He is one of the two main characters from my Baer story games in dreams. Here he is here. This is the second main character, Mrs. Bear. She is married to Mr. Bear, and this is her here. I know that her neck is not connected to her body properly, but that's just the way she is. This is the evil guy, Evil Lord Power, and he doesn't really like bears and wants to get rid of them all. This is Evil Lord Power's girlfriend, Evil Lady Power, and she doesn't like bears. She really can't stand them, the same as Evil Lord Power. Maybe one day they'll get married, who knows? And they can live happily and evilly together. This is the one-eye monster. He works for Evil Lord Power. He is like a sort of guard, making sure that no bears or anyone else that Evil Lord Power doesn't want in his lair gets in to his lair. We have Mr. Bear's dad, Mr. Bear Senior here. We have Mrs. Bear's mum, Mrs. Funny Bear here. Mr. Bear's grandpa is here. And Granny Bear is here. Mr. Bear's granny. So Mrs. Bear's mum is here. This is what Mrs. Bear's mum looks like. Mrs. Bear's dad is here as well. There we go. Mrs. Bear's dad. Mrs. Bear's grandpa is here. And Mrs. Bear's grandma. We have Penny here. We have Penny here. Evil Lord Power's mother, Penny. And Evil Lord Power's father, Joe. This is Joe and Penny. Evil Lord Power's mother and father. We have Evil Lady Power here. This is her mother, Katie, as you can see here. And this is her dad, Dan, as you can see here. Dan and Katie. So we have Mrs. Police Bear here and Mr. Police Bear here. They're the police officers that live in Bear City, and they make sure that all the bears are safe, and they also make sure that no one's causing trouble. This is Mayor Panda Bear. He tries to be a good mayor, but sometimes he just doesn't be a good mayor. And bears get annoyed sometimes when they hear that he has put their taxes up and they have to pay more money. This here is Mr. Bear's dog, and he is a nice dog who always does what he's told, but sometimes Mr. Bear, forgets to look after him properly. But he always makes sure that Mr. Bear looks after him properly. Whenever Mr. Bear forgets, he'll always let Mr. Bear know, hey, you forgot to feed me, or you forgot to give me a wash, or you forgot to take me out for a walk today. He'll make sure that he gets what he deserves. This is Mr. Yellow Bear, as you can see here. He's just a nice yellow bear. And this is the nice blue bear, Mr. Blue Bear, who is Mr. Yellow Bear's brother. And he is always losing things like his phone and his laptop and his keys and stuff. Here we have the famous bear actor who lives in Bear City, Bear McClure. This is Bear McClure. Sorry, not Bear McClure. This is Mr. Jolly Bear, who works in the Pizza Bear restaurant in Bear City. And he makes the best pizza in the city. Some bears would disagree. They think that other pizzas are better. But according to him, he makes the best pizza in Bear City. This is Dirty Bear. He has not had a wash in ages and he comes from Australia. This is what he looks like. This is a zombie bear. This bear was in Bear Story 10 Zombie Bears game, where you had to get rid of the zombie bears. This bear is Frank Bear. He was in Bear Story 16, the fairground game. As you can see, this is what he looks like here. I made this, and this is what he looks like. This is a Bear Bot 6000. They work at the Bear Cola factory making Bear Cola. This here is Mr. Museum Bear, who works at the Bear City Museum. This is Mrs. Happy Bear, a nice smiley happy bear who likes to be happy all the time. This is Detective Bear. He is basically a detective version of Mr. Bear. We have Toilet Bear here with the toilet on his head. This bear is Chuckle Bear, a bear version of me. This is Mr. Bad Bear, a bad bear who's always causing trouble. He used to be a pirate, but another pirate bear, Mr. Good Bear, kicked him off the pirate ship for being too bad, and now he's not a pirate anymore, but he still wears his pirate hat, because he likes to remember the good times when he was a pirate. We have here Mr. Funky Bear. He's a funky bear who always likes to be funky. This here is Super Bear, a superhero bear who likes to save the day. This is Mrs. Builder Bear and Mr. Builder Bear here. And this is Mrs. Firefighter Bear and Mr. Firefighter Bear. And here is the fire engine here that they like to ride in. This here is Mrs. Tall Bear and this is Mr. Tall Bear. And down here we have Mr. Small Bear and Mrs. Small Bear. Those are really tiny wee toty bears who live in Bear City. They're so little that some bears have accidentally nearly standed on them and flattened them. These bears are super tall that it's hard to see their head because they're just so tall. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Put down below any comments and I'll see you later.